right, welcome in once again, Lings and Queens. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is the IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. Red Mage, fun times tonight, I think.
Absolutely, even on a holiday like today, it's of course Memorial Day, but we're still having a decent amount of field, more than I really was expecting for a holiday of all things. I figured people would be out having a barbecue, doing something cool outside, but no, everybody's here to be playing some StarCraft 2 with us here at itsgosu.com. It's going to be great. We're going to be watching Plaff take on Mayor McCheese.
Don't you just love that name?
I love that. I saw that. I was like, please let that guy be at our event. Please, because I just wanted a chance to make just the amount of Ronald McDonald jokes and all the the cheeseburglar and all the great little Fry Guy comments we can make. It's gonna be it writes itself. The jokes just write themselves. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be bad no matter what because they're coming out of our mouths, but they're gonna be a little bit easier to spit out at the very, very least. I just had a cheeseburger actually, just munched down on one right before we jumped into the stream here. My jump at dinner. So once again, IG Beta Divisional action. This is our 7th one. We're winding down. We're moving towards the last month of our 2011 Spring Tournament Series. You can head to itsgosu.com. I'm going to pop the calendar up there for you. As you can see, we've got the whole year planned out. This is tentative, though. We've picked up more sponsors already. More money's made it into the prize pool. And we plan to add more and more events to expand the prize pool as well. So if you want to get in on the action, no matter what your level happens to be, make sure you head on in to itsgosu.com. And we've got something for everybody. So this is the IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanyamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So we having a little bit of trouble getting McCheese in the game here, my friend.
I am finding Mayor McCheese at this very moment. It says that he's available. I think he's watching a replay or something because he was playing some ladder matches beforehand. So I'm just sending him a quick tell. Or PM as they would like to call it here,
right?
And just letting them know that we're waiting on him.
Alrighty, no problem. So, but yeah, I mean, it's I think you and I have finally had enough time to bounce back from our very long but very amazing weekend. I'm feeling pretty good today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I was a little sluggish getting out of bed. I'm not gonna lie, but then I woke up. I was playing some Assassin's Creed, and the whole time I was playing Assassin's Creed, all I could think of was Zerglings mauling Terrence. I don't know why.
Sure,
it's probably because that game was a little sluggish, and it was just it was just one of those things that I was I just wanted to watch Zerglings maul Terrence. It's crazy.
Oh wow! So come on, McCheese. I don't want to put our first competitor on the clock here. I'm going to have to though. It's 7:09. We'll give him a slightly longer time period. He's got till 7:15. Up, I see him kind of, sort of jumping into the game. Is he here? Yes, he is. So we're going to have a ZVP leading things off. Icy Cup Test Bug to lead off here for this matchup. So, in PvZ, I know is your favorite matchup. Should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I love the matchup right there, and it's going to be pretty cool. And, I don't think he's ever been streamed before, so this is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to be on one of our newer maps to the map pool here, Icy Cup Test Bug. And of course, my favorite matchup. I can't believe we're going to start off the day with something like this. Now, if somebody would just pick Belshire Beach, be great. Be a great, fantastic day today. And maybe if we saw a mothership on Belshire Beach, maybe we saw a Nidus Worm, fantastic.
Oh yeah. Well, this is our Beta Divisional, so, and really the Beta Divisionals, by the way, if you're new to itsgosu.com and our tournament series, Beta Divisionals are for our Bronze and Silver League players, so if you're expecting to see super high-level Korean-level play, not going to be on the plate tonight, but that's not the point. The idea is we want to get these Gosus of tomorrow in, get them bitten by that competitive bug, and get them feeling how good it feels, no matter what level of play you are, to truly compete, to be casted, to have 2 pros. I think we qualify as that. I mean, we're making money at this. We casted some of the best players in the nation over the weekend, so I'm pretty sure we qualify as that, at least as much as anyone else does. And, to have us give them a chance to be casted and to feel how it feels to be at that level of play and to just expand the It's Gosu community and really reach out to players of all levels instead of just catering to the Master, Grandmaster, and Diamond level play. But going to be jumping right into the game here. Mayor McCheese, our Zerg, and Plaff, our Protoss, here in the lead-off match of our IG Beta Divisional number 7.
Oh yeah. Now we're gonna be starting off here at Test Bug. The cool thing about Test Bug is I kind of marvel at this because it's kind of like watching Biodome, because you have the grasslands area, then you have the mechanized area, and then you have the kind of deserty looking thing. Wolverines. Nice. I will not disappoint you, Wolverines. Oh my goodness gracious. It has been a long time since I've had a Red Dawn reference. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Right there. But we're gonna see that that Mayor McCheese, our yellow Zerg, is going to be spawning down here at the lower left in the mechanical area, and then in the upper green area, we're going to have Plath, the Protoss, spawning in the brushed blue, as I like to call it.
Oh yes, that pastel blue, blush blue, as you've gotten to know it so well. So, and really, and this is kind of the fun of it, and when you're going to hear Red Mage and I critique some. Yes, we know these are Bronze and Silver League players. There's going to be some room for improvement. There's going to be chances are some goofy mistakes. Going to see some things that are kind of inexplicable. I have absolutely no doubt it happens every week. But that's kind of the fun of casting these is, whenever you cast really high-level players like we tend to do later on in the week for our faction wars and for our Omega Divisionals, etc., whenever we cast those, everything's kind of, what's going to come and what the proper transition is. And yes, there are moments of brilliance, and there are some very exciting moments when two great players lead up to a gigantic head-on clash. But, it's in events like these that we see, like, the infamous Colossus drop. I mean, who the hell does a Colossus drop? We got to see that because we cast these Bronze and Silver League players. I friggin' love it.
Someone who doesn't know better. Exactly. The people who don't know better do crazy stuff, and that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's not as cheese-heavy as you would think, and I can't help but think that might have something to do with the fact they know they're on camera, and they know they're going to be recorded cheesing, and if they fail, they're going to be ridiculed endlessly. But McCheese...
It's okay, just watch WBC all the time.
Exactly. Hey, cheese can take you far, man. Yeah, one WBC from All for One Gaming. The guy, he uses cannons like most people use, like Zerglings, like for real. He's always using them. So we see that Mayor McCheese has gotten up that spawning pool first. No gas quite yet. That hatch going down, right about on time down at his natural expansion. Plath getting the small little wall off with the little area there for his zealot to try and contain things. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing anything undue or unexpected at the moment. Still up on one gas, so the timing on the second gas out of a Protoss player really tells you so very much. His cybernetics core has completed now. He's doing the warp gate research, and now is the time he should be taking his second gas. They're not going to see it, so he's going to build a gateway, and he's going to build another pylon. And, okay, now getting that second gas, so no 4 warp gate rush going to be happening. In the meantime, that second hatch just about done as his first little round of Zerglings make their way onto the map.
Oh, yeah, and we should also let everybody know that we are, the movie contest is running again today.
Oh, yeah.
So we are having that contest. For those of you who don't know about the contest, during the entire stream tonight, AC and I will reference movies. If we give out the name of the movie, it doesn't count, so don't put that as an answer. But we'll go through a ton of movies, and all you have to do is reference 3 of the movies that we talk about, and then you just send in your guesses to contest@itsgosu.com and just give us your Justin TV your little Justin TV name, and then your 3 guesses there, and then all the winners.
You have to like us on Justin TV as well.
Yeah, you have to be a follower on Justin TV in order to qualify. And here we go. We got a little bit of a try to run in there.
It looks like he's going to
they ran right in.
Way by. That's 3 Zerglings, though, just going to be more annoying than anything. Probes can even handle this without a whole lot of trouble, especially now that he's going to, waste a little mining time, maybe. He's going to get 1 probe. Is he going to get 2? If he gets 2, that's 1 probe's about par for the course there. I was kind of baffled. I couldn't tell if that was completely walled off there, but apparently there's 2 little gaps where those Zerglings can make it by, and you're going to see that sometimes in Bronze and Silver League. You're going to see not the best Sim City in the world. Doesn't matter. Great competitors. We love to watch him play. So McCheese's second is up and mining just fine. He's got 2 gas, but nobody going into it quite. Oh, actually, he's moving down the building right now. That's why nobody's going into them quite yet. But and going straight up to the Roach Warren. So not trying to do anything crazy. Not going to be favoring super fast Zerglings or even a Baneling Nest. Just wants to get his Roaches up so he can deal with whatever pressure he sees out of his Protoss opponent.
Oh yeah, and again, going back to the rules, all you got to do is follow us on Justin TV, submit your three guesses. All the winners are going to be thrown into a pot, and then we're going to pick. I guess tonight we'll do two. We'll give away 2 packs tonight. Normally it's gonna be one, but because we didn't do it yesterday, we're going to give away 2 packs today. Of the special edition Magic cards from the Planeswalker series. They were only sold at the 2010 New York Comic Convention. These things are awesome. They're roughly they sold for about $15 a piece. They're on eBay, like the regular store bought ones are $15, and nobody will put up the special edition ones because they're special editions.
Right,
so,
you can only buy them at that one place. That's worth reiterating.
You can only buy them at the one place.
And they were only available for, 1, 2, or 3 day event, and they're no longer being printed or made available in any other way. So you're talking at least a $15, $20 wholesale price on those. So even if you're not into Magic cards, it's a prize worth having, believe me. You can just throw those up on eBay and make yourself some pizza money or something. So, but
that's right.
Plath throwing down the Nexus here. Going to be getting his expansion about on time, and this is you kind of get used to seeing this when we do our beta divisionals. Not a whole lot of early pressure. We see 3 spine crawlers now. Very, very cautious play out of both players. Just kind of want to hang back and macro and do their thing. So and that's why it gives us a chance to make movie references and to talk about our movie references and to talk about our contests. So I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, it gives us plenty of time for that. So yeah, so again we're the whole thing. Make a whole lot of movie references, or we're going to try to make a whole lot of movie references, depending on what's going to happen. And then you submit your three guesses and your screen name there for Justin TV after you've liked us or followed us or whatever or what have you. Contest at itsgosu.com. Send us your 3. I think last time we had a couple of dozen people thinking actually DJ Final and Dan Evasion were our first 2 winners of those packs, and I believe tomorrow those packs are going out to you guys. So thank you guys for watching and participating, and we look forward to hopefully people succeeding today. So again, if we call out the name of the movie like I did with Red Dawn, that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's not a reference we're making. It'll be references. Little things slid in there that you're going to have to pick out without us identifying the movie. So we can't make it too easy. We're, the first time we did 17 of them or something?
17 something.
Yeah, that's a little too easy. So we're going to try and keep it a little bit more limited. Maybe 1 a game or something like that.
And actually, it was 18. Actually, Dan put it out. There was actually 18 movies that I referenced, or that we referenced. I had actually forgotten to write one down. I had actually forgotten to write down Monty Python.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, and because I had forgotten to write that down, but yeah, I had clearly made a reference to that movie, and so he was very sharp and put that, because as soon as he put that, I was like, did I reference that? I'm thinking I did several times. So bad red right there. So kudos.
Anyway, we're not just enjoying the sound of our own voice here, folks. Honestly, there's not a lot going on.
Maybe. Well, I'm enjoying the sound of your voice, AC, but that's just me.
But who doesn't? I mean,
we do have another expansion coming out from Mayor McCheese, who is surprisingly not cheesing. So I don't know if
he is the color of cheese, though. I was quite happy to see him roll the yellow. I mean, if you're going to be McCheese, you better be cheese-ish looking, and with the creep here and all that, it kind of looks like it's got mold on it. But hey, whatever. It's McDonald's. A McDonald's reference, not a movie reference. Doesn't matter. Destructible Rob's going down, and Plath beginning to mass up a little bit. And really not a whole lot of units on the field here for McCheese. He's got a decent count of roaches and a couple of spines, but he's not being real active at all. He's trying to use these Zerglings basically as his all-purpose troops, and if he's not careful, he may get caught a little bit off guard as Plath continues to tack onto his army.
Oh yeah, and Mayor Cheese pulling over something that you and I were discussing yesterday, putting that macro hatch in your main, and we can see it right there. He's got a macro hatch as well as two expansions down, so he's going to have 4 hatches running at the same time, and that is a great mark right there. That he is definitely looking to put on a 200 army pressure and just a move to the win.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's doing what he can. He's getting the Infestor tech up now. His upgrades coming down as well as the Burrow and the Glial Reconstitution. Twilight Council down now for Plath. So both players just saying, hey, you know what? Screw mid-game aggression. Screw early-game aggression. I just want my bases and I want my units and my upgrades. So we'll see exactly what Plath wants to move on to here shortly. Infestors, though, so essential. And pretty much every matchup. I mean, it's kind of bizarre. Infestors are kind of like High Templar were in Brood War. They're just the ultimate DPS. a DPSing caster now. There just is not another caster. Even Psystorm out of High Templars in StarCraft 2 is just a shell of what it used to be. It's not anything like it used to be in terms of dealing damage. And Fungal Growth, given that it immobilizes and just deals massive damage to pretty much all units, and it holds them in place for Banelings, what have you. Infestors are kind of the quintessential Zerg unit, in my opinion, in StarCraft 2.
Oh yeah, since I didn't play Brood War, that kind of flew over my head a lot with what you were talking about. But the individual units, I think, look cool in the new StarCraft 2. But
that's really what matters,
And actually, I was getting ready to play. I did the install this morning for it, and then there was 20 minutes worth of patches for Brood War. So I was all ready to play. But then, I was trying to keep myself occupied. So with Assassin's Creed,
right?
So,
you got to play Brood War, man. Got to play Brood War.
Yeah, definitely playing StarCraft 1.
Beginning to push out now. He's got the Zealot leg charge not quite complete. In fact, nowhere near complete. He's just going to try to get active, I guess. Poke around and make sure his opponent's not taking the gold. Going to go ahead and get those pylons up. So, putting together the non-Colossus death push, and really, he's doing a pretty decent job of doing that. You can do that pretty effectively off of a lot of gateway units, maybe with some immortal support like we see right here. A very Adele Scott style, where you just rely on heavily upgraded gateway units. He's at 1-1 now, not seeing... now we see the +2 to ground weapons. Probably needs to be double forging, but that doesn't matter. These are guys, they're getting their feet wet a little bit here in competitive play. So, but really the roach count, it's high enough, but it's not high as it should be. These Zerglings are what are going to make the difference if and when this engagement comes. The angle at which they engage, the units at which they engage. Given the high Zealot count here, we're talking, looks like 17 Zealots at the minimum. Those are really going to go to town on any of the Zerglings. So the Roaches are going to have to be unburrow now as they're spotted. Needs to get them up out of the ground. They're cornered. The Zealots are going to be able to charge in as the Stalkers get the good surround. Those Immortals kind of hanging around the back, but continuing to do damage. Actually, he's going to move them forward on his own accord. Good job there, making sure all the units get engaged. We see the Fungal Growth goes off, does a decent amount of damage, but Plath seems to be coming out ahead right here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mayor McCheese, unfortunately, was moving those infestors up without really launching off the fungal growth. It was they were kind of getting killed for no real reason. But we see him doing a great job here, trying to target fire down that one immortal, and we see a couple more of them trying to come in. And that one immortal is going to barely get away with only 13 health. And nope, still there, still survived. He managed to get the. I thought he disappeared, but he just kind of disappeared into the stack.
Plath, a bit of a bad handling of his units there. Just for whatever reason, left a small pack of units to their death out there in front of that tower. And now McCheese going to be able to swing things back around. He target fires down the Immortal. Looks like he's going to be able to rush in, and if not clean this up, at least mortally cripple it. We see McCheese just, springing so far ahead in terms of supply, up to 134 against the 75. Now back up to 90 out of Plath. So Plath looked pretty sharp there. I think he made a big mistake by not continuing the push when he could have. Then, of course, he split his units up kind of inexplicably, allowed a small little chunk of them to get surrounded and taken out. But now he's really on his back heel, and he's going to have to fight hard to catch up.
Oh, yeah, and, for those of you just now tuning in, because I just saw a couple more viewers pop in, you're watching the IG Beta Divisional Tournament number 7. This is featuring a lot of bronze and silver level players, cutting their teeth on some early, tournament action here.
Oh, yeah, another major engagement going down here. The roach count's so very high for Mayor McCheese. Going to town here on Plath. Plath's going to have this completely cleaned up. The Zealots doing what they can, and he's going to burrow inexplicably. No idea what the hell he's thinking there because there's an observer there. Doesn't matter. Got to resurface and continue to go to town on this gateway army of Plath. That one Immortal probably going to get a few more pot shots in before the force of the Zerg turns and focus fires him down. So McCheese just doing a great job, and Plath pretty much is out of this game, down to 51 supply against the 168 of McCheese. If we check the income tab, we can see he's 18 harvesters behind as well, just now getting that third completed. That Nexus has 5 probes queued up, so probably should have thrown this Nexus down a little bit earlier in the game, given how much time he had. Bad rally point there on that Immortal, without a doubt. All these probes are going to get caught. No, they're going to make it by. Don't think it matters, as McCheese is in a position to do exactly what you were talking about earlier, Redmay. Just basically he can A-move.
Yeah, we're just A-moving right in right now, and that is the benefit of having.
Oh, but there's a Dark Templar coming in just in time. The Dark Shrine was in production. Didn't know if he was going to be able to get this guy out. Don't think it's going to change the tide of the game, but If nothing else, it's going to allow him to say, well, at least I'm going to get a few more kills.
He's bringing in 2 more now. They're coming down the ramp.
If he can get him on the ramp to block, he can actually hold this off. He needs the hold position. He doesn't have him on hold position. Hold position, please. No, don't move him down. Oh, it's all right. McCheese looks like he's not going to want to engage anyway. He could simply just loop around and walk right into his opponent's base, target fire down the Nexus, and pretty much be done. But looks like he'll have an Overseer on the way. No. Why does
Maybe in a minute.
There he comes. Okay, I was going to say. Little late on that, but that's okay. He's going to join up just in time. Now the Roach is going to turn their fury, and that's going to be GG. McCheese right at 200 supply, just about. Plaff way behind 150 supply in the deficit.
Oh, yeah, that is a huge deficit right there, and those Roaches are just going to kind of casually, nonchalantly move in there, and we see pylons going down right now just to kind of be there to warp more units in, but, the more Dark Templar he sends in there, the more they're just going to die, because that Overseer comes in, and boom, they're just wiped out right there, those Stalkers. He did a great job, putting resisting a lot of that early pressure that McCheese was kind of, I wouldn't want to say pressure, but antagonizing Zerglings that were coming in and out there from McCheese, but unfortunately, right here, this Roach Ball is just going to be unstoppable here by whatever Platt can put out.
Now, right now, we see production is completely ceased for both players. Nothing in the production queue whatsoever. So yeah, I think Platt knows he's down and out. Yeah, I guess he'll hang on. And this is one of those. There it is, the GG from Plaff. So Plaff going to go down 0-1 in this best of 3 series at our IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by Gosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. Go to Gosu.com. See all the upcoming events that we have going on. 5 to 6 tournaments a week, every day. And it's going to, or not every day, every week. Starting from Sunday, going all the way to Wednesday, and then usually Friday and Saturday we have something else planned. So it's always a lot of fun to come out, and it's for every single set of leagues set up there. So no matter what your skill level, there's always something for you. Right now, of course, we're doing the Beta Divisionals. It's great for bronze and silvers, and then we have our alphas, which is golds and platinums, and then diamond masters and grandmasters are on Wednesday for the Omega Cups or for the Omega Divisionals. So it's just an unstoppable amount of stuff that we are trying to do for you, the community, so you can have a lot of fun, get your friends in on the action. Even if they don't like to play StarCraft 2, everybody likes to watch somebody play StarCraft 2. And that's always the best thing.
It's kind of baffling to me. It's StarCraft, even like friends of mine that we're not the biggest fans. It's like they've never played the game, but they love to sit and watch our stream. It amazes me. It's such a great spectator sport. It really is.
Oh yeah, because anybody could really understand it with the proper commentating. If you get that super analytic or super in-depth look at it, people kind of get a little weird out. But you and I kind of you're here strictly as the voice and the voice of reason, so to speak. While I'm here with these delusions of grandeur, my bronzeness exposing itself.
Hey, it's all right. Well, we work damn well. So moving into we're getting set up for Game 2. This is the IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by Gosu.com. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and these are our sponsors: Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanya Mabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So once again, just a reminder, since we've had a few new people join, we are having that Magic the Gathering card giveaway this evening. Rules are real simple. Throughout tonight, Red Mage and I are going to be making some movie references here and there. Just make mental note of them anytime you hear us reference a movie. If we call it out by name, that's not one you need to write down. If we say the movie's name right after we do it, but some that are going to be kind of veiled, nerdy movies, probably going to be the order of the evening. But all you have to do is follow us or like us, whatever you want to say on Justin TV. Hit the follow button, and then just send an email to contest@gosu.com, including 3 of the movie names, or 3 names of the movies that we referenced this evening. And you can also, and then pretty much after that, you're done. Just make sure you include your Justin TV tag so we can confirm that you're a follower, and we'll pop those out to you. And those cards are pretty baller. I'm not even a Magic guy, but I like the look of them. They're the Planeswalker series. They're extremely rare. They were only given out, the version of the cards, I should say, we're only given out at the New York Comic Convention, so pretty tough to get your hands on. And the wholesale, not retail, but wholesale value of them is around $15 or $20. So even if you're not into Magic, it's a prize you can easily convert to cash just by selling them off to some of your nerdy friends.
Absolutely right. And we are giving away two. Normally it's just one pack a night, but tonight we're going to be giving away 2 packs. And it's not whoever gets it first. So, we're going to take all the winners or all the people that have correct answers. We're going to throw them into a hat, so to speak, and we're going to pick out 2 people that are going to win them. And you actually have till 3 a.m. You have the 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning, because we want to make sure that anybody that's watching these on a VOD does have an opportunity,
right.
Especially if you're on the West Coast. We want everybody to have an opportunity to go back, watch the VODs there, and or if you just want to double check your guesses, go on back there and do that. So you do have till 3 a.m. Got to do it. And now we see that that great Protoss pylon blocking the expansion.
So annoying. Annoying.
Yeah, you love doing that as a reformed Protoss player.
I love doing it as a Terran, man. I'll tell you what, you want to piss a Zerg player off, if you're playing a TVZ and you want to switch things up, build an engineering bay after your first barracks right down in that expansion spot and let him spot it late. You want to piss him off, stop it like at 98% completion or whatever, then you can cancel it when it gets down to 10 hit points. And especially if they try to expand blind, it's just so fun to see players thrown off. And this is why this is effective. We see these two drones. These two drones are not mining. He's losing mining time right here. It's a very small advantage, but it's an advantage. Make no mistake. So McCheese forced to delay his plans, at least for the moment.
Oh yeah, and that's that is a great move there by Plath, because at the younger stages of the learning of the game there, it's a little challenging to get your mind right after something like that happens, because you want to be able to and that was a kind of a bad. I was going to say that was a bad move there by Plath. He didn't have a backup to that pylon, but he did, so he didn't get supply block for very long. But it's kind of hard to get your mind back into the game, into your strategy right off the bat. When
right.
you're still learning the game, because you'll do something like right now. You can see he's waiting for that hatchery to come out, but he started making more Zerglings and more drones as opposed to waiting. He was literally at 253. He just had to wait just a little bit longer just to get that extra hatch down.
Oh, yeah, so McCheese is going to be taking that hatch forthwith any moment now. There's 300. There it goes. He's going to move out with the Zerglings behind that. As one is wont to do, he's going to want to poke up this ramp, see if there's any expansion nonsense going out of his opponent. Plath, though, seems to be doing something much more usual, going to get up to 3 gates, and given what we saw out of him last time, he's probably going to tack on that robotics facility before expanding as well, playing it ultra safe. And that's kind of, if you want to talk a hallmark, especially as the game is developing now, as StarCraft 2 is gaining in popularity, and even players who don't get to play that often or just aren't that good of players are beginning to get their mind around the game as a whole. We're not seeing the goofy mistakes that you did the first couple of months StarCraft was out. Now it's just, sometimes some unorthodox stuff like seeing the Colossus drop in the mineral field. I mean, that's always fun, but largely just safe play is really what defines Bronze and Silver. Just ultra safe, ultra slow paced. Dropping down now. He's actually going to get a Stargate and a Forge up off of one base, so Plath planning to stay on one base for a while.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of a pretty good move, I would think. Because a one base Protoss can do enough damage to. Well,
it's got to be on a good timing. He's got to put together. You can't just kind of freestyle a one base Protoss build. If you do, you're either going to be too weak or you're going to overcommit. And that if you don't win in the battle or you don't do enough damage, you're basically, the game's over because you've stayed on one base for too long. But going to be getting the Phoenix out, and this is kind of tough, really. It's kind of tough to support 3 gateways, 1 Stargate, 1 Forge, and Pro production off of one base. So if Plath is going to do this, he's going to need to make use of these units just about as soon as they come out. That way, he has the freedom to get out and expand.
Oh yeah, and with that Phoenix, he just needs to, he's going to wait for the other one, but move those right in and just start picking up that Queen, even for a couple of seconds. If you time it just right, you're going to be able to make him miss those injects, and that's going to really throw off his drone creation, I was going to say offensive, defensive units, but especially there in the natural expansion, that is the one place you want to hit immediately with that with those Phoenixes, picking that up.
really the prime target of Phoenix play early on needs to be Overlords. Just sacking Overlords extremely easy to do if they're poorly positioned, and it allows you to deny your Zerg opponent some scouting. And on a map like Shakuras as well, where you have a good idea of where most of your opponent's Overlords are going to be in the middle area, down at the bottom. But anyway, the Zergling's going to move in now just as speed finishes. They're just going to flat out run by. No way for him to stop it. These Phoenix is going to be able to pick them up and delay them a little bit, but he's going to make it all the way into the main mineral line, so hits the attack. Not a good surround at all here. Looks like he's trying to be a little too cute with them, trying to take out these probes. Gets a few, but eventually he's going to be, and that's something you don't see often, a Zergling picked up by a Phoenix. Put me down, please. Put me down.
Put me down, put me down, put
oh,
me
it
down.
drops him. Oh, just see that? That was a little bit of show-off points there. A little bit of hot dog, and that zealot there of Plath cut that Zergling in half on the way down to the ground.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That is a zealot that has a T-ball and kind of fetish there. He likes to hit the T-ball, and we see there we go, that one Overlord kind of holding up the red light there to the Phoenixes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Stopped.
Yeah, stopping just short of him. Now going to go to work. They're going to be able to pick him off quite easily. That's actually going to supply block his opponent. That's really what you need to do. Now he can move in and go to work on the Queen. She's going to be picked up. Going to need to start shooting at her. There we go. So going to lose this Queen as well, and it looks like Mayor McCheese is just going to try and push back across the map. We see the Zerglings, or excuse me, Roaches actually moving now. Some Spore Crawlers are going to be going down, most likely at the natural. No, it looks like he's just trying to protect the main. This is going to be a little too late. He's continuing to pick off drones, being kind of slow and clunky about it, but I guess he's still doing the job. Needs to really start hunting around for more Queens and more Overlords, and right here's where he needs to go. 4 plump, juicy Overlords right over there by the side of the map. He's going to lose his Phoenixes. Get him out of the way. So the Roaches starting to push back at home. Now they're going to catch this expansion. And almost no ground units here to defend, so Plath's going to have to bring home the Phoenixes and hope that they've got the energy to pick these up. Problem is, he can pick them up and kind of cease the pressure at the moment, but he can't. Yeah, okay, good. I was going to say, if he tries to pick them all up at once, he's not going to have anything to shoot at them. They're going to make it into the mineral line, maybe get a couple of shots off on the probes here, but Plath, you know, it wasn't pretty, but pretty good crisis management. We'll give him credit.
Yeah, he did a very good job at that. He was a little unclicky with the Phoenixes, but you know, hey, you're definitely putting that pressure there on.
I just want you to take a look at the harvest count, or the harvester count at the moment. By the way,
wow.
Yeah, don't mean. Yeah, we're at, the 12-minute mark, and there's less than 35 harvesters between our two opponents at the moment. So,
I know exactly how this feels too, because my very first tournament that I was in, I had, I think by the 12 or 13-minute mark, I maybe had 8 or 9. I think I maybe made like 1 or 2 extra SCVs over what they start you off with. So I think I just kind of made 8, and I was wondering why I never got anything, and all of a sudden there's this massive army there from the opponent, and I'm like, how did he do that?
Come on, man. They tell you in the tooltips, always be making SCVs. Be like day 9, probes and pylons, man. That's all.
Probes and pylons.
Mayor McCheese. Yeah, I think we may as well settle in. Hope you packed the lunch. This looks to be one of those games. It's going to be one of those games that I don't think is going to be resolved anytime in the near future.
But the creep being spread pretty well. He did a good job spreading the creep the last time, too. He was putting that down everywhere. I meant to mention that. But, now he seems to be
got a long-distance burrow.
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's going to...
that's like the...
why? To what end do you burrow them from your home base all the way across? Now he's just going to turn them around. It's cool, bro. It's cool.
They're just looking. They're just out there. They're just trying to get over into the bank. That's all. That's how stuff gets done. You just go over there, and it looks like he's going to go over and expand again into the natural of that top left expansion. So definitely going to take a little bit more map control as well. And we see those Phoenixes flew out to the middle.
I've been wondering why these
Phoenixes
back. Haven't been doing anything. I mean, he just has really done nothing with them. Now he's going to use them to scout. He needs to be kind of, look at this. I mean, these Overlords back here are plump, juicy targets. There's one right out front here. He doesn't know the Roaches have burrow, but if he did, it wouldn't really matter. Just get active with them. Get active with your units, man. Do some damage. Oh, he's going to catch this Queen. Her fat little ass is going to be picked up. Fourth. Okay.
No, he just can't. I guess he was not watching the mini map. That's an important safety tip there by Egon, is to go ahead and make sure you're always looking at the mini map. Now he notices that. He's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, now he's going to get the Queen. There you go, my friend. Pick. There we go. All right, going to pick her up. That's going to be the end of her days. And, yeah, so not a whole lot going on. I mean, just to be honest.
And yet still more drones going over there. He spotted it. Don't send him over there.
I was going to say.
There you go. Now he's going to send him back. There we go.
But, I love our beta divisional so much.
We see a good group of zealots. And okay, I'm seeing a lot of this. Go in, don't go in. He's kind of like testing the waters to see if it's, is it too hot? Is it too cold? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Too hot or too cold? Or what was the old game that you used to play when you were a kid, like the floor's lava and you can only step on pillows or climb on the furniture or whatnot.
Oh, exactly. I'm looking around. Fleet beacon. That's something interesting. We're going to see a fleet beacon.
Go.
Now, don't forget
it.
If he decides to make a mothership, look at her portrait. I know you've been wanting to see the mothership portrait for quite some time.
I have been wanting to see the mothership portrait.
I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm just going to let you take it in. Just take it in. Fancy chick. Oh
gosh!
Moving on.
Please make one of the ship and not a bunch of carriers. Not that carriers aren't cool looking, but I like my mothership specifically for the reason that it makes a gigantic noise and slows the game down so much.
Oh yeah, the mothership lag, as one is wont to call it. So it's finished. What's he gonna do? Both players sitting on a trust fund, 2,000 minerals in the bank for Plath, who is sub 100 supply. And 1,500 for his Zerg opponent at 70 supply. So
he's got plenty for. He doesn't have the pylons. Okay, that's right. Okay, there you go. He's building in the pylons so he can afford it. That's exactly what he's going to go for. He's
there. It is. He's got it queued. He's got it queued. So at some point we will see a mothership. Who knows when, but it'll happen. And the Phoenixes, they're just hanging out.
And I will have a Shiva Blast ready for what he has. And he's going to build a carrier. Nice. So he's going to double up on the aerial combat there.
Why are use your Phoenixes? It's like it's giving me anxiety, man. It's just like it's like the put them in gas moment. It's like, dude, use the Phoenixes. You spent money on them. They're there. Do something with them. Like here, look. Here's a bunch of roaches.
They just kind of have a bunch of guys that are just hanging out. They're just waiting for stuff to happen.
Right.
There's something over there. Well, let me go over there and combat that thing.
Well, here goes 4 Zerglings. The striking, amazing force here. The Delta Squadron of Mayor McCheese going to get active, see what he can pick off, and he's actually going to be catching the construction progress here. Your stimulus dollars at work, so to speak.
Go back and kill him. Go. What are you doing? SEAL team, Zerg Team 6 is failing. Go back around. Not going anywhere.
I love how there was nothing in the production queue for either player forever. Now look at the production queue. Like there was nothing there for the longest time. But
and now there's a ton of stuff coming in there.
Spire on the way. Spire on the way. The mothership's going to be out at the very least. We're going to get to see us a mothership. So, come on, Mama. Come on, Mama. Give me something to harp about at least for a few minutes. Hey.
That's right. So I can have my Shiva Blast. Right here we see the interceptors being made right now for the carriers, and just that expansion's going up, and then Hive Tech. Other than that, there's not a whole lot. But that mothership's about to pop.
Oh yeah, in preparation,
I'll try to contain myself.
There's the lady.
Yes.
There's the lady. Oh yeah.
Wow, she looks like that. She looks like GLaDOS from Portal.
Yeah, sorta. I'll give you that. Well, it's like if you really look at GLaDOS, she looks like a bound, gagged, and blindfolded woman hung upside down. You ever notice that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I have. I've heard that said several times. But yes, she does.
Really,
there's that carrier ready to rock and roll.
Somebody attack, please.
Okay, well, here we go. We see a little bit of
movement,
center mast, and some burrow going on there.
That's a good number of roaches. I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, we got 24 roaches. I think I'm not sure that McCheese knows that he can go further than his own creep. It's like whenever you're 5 years old and you tell your mom you're gonna run away, but you don't. You were told you can't go past the street corner, so you don't go. Because these roaches have barely come off this creep at all. The only thing that's come off of the Zerglings. Zerglings are the defiant little brothers, the ones who always get away with everything. These are the good boys who just want to stay home and make sure that Mama knows exactly where they are all the time. And I can't say the Plath's been much better. This army's been parked here for 21 minutes now. We're at the 21 minute mark, and not a single attack, not one attack. We saw the Zergling run by. That doesn't count. That's a little maybe harassment. Not one attack.
At some point, somebody's got to move out and just be like, "I am the law," and go out there and start kicking in a few teeth or something. You don't have to wait till 200. Trust me. You can move out earlier.
Well, these Zerglings gonna suicide themselves in, I think. Yeah, they're they look a little depressed.
Nope, they're going back now. All right, guys, it's cool. All right, 5 more.
Advance! Advance! So here they go.
Please move that mothership up a little bit more. Let her. Oh, it's detected.
Oh, that's terrible. He's still moving right underneath. Oh, now they're going to try to unburrow. He's got a good surround, I mean, if nothing else. The carriers, though, going to rain down plenty of death. The mothership needs to move forward and go ahead and cloak the rest of them. I mean, yeah, that's a GG. I mean, pretty much. What do you...
Vortex your own people.
No, at this point, you just float the mothership over into the main of your opponent, use the mass recall, and be done with it, man.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of. I mean, he's got those 2 or 3 spore crawler, or 4 spore crawlers in the main and the natural there, and not a whole heck of a lot else. He's getting too Hydralist, though. I guess that might...
hey, ho, getting bold. All right, now we got this little army. They're going to poke through the reeds and go, hey, shit, and try to... No, actually not going to run away. There we go. There's the GG. So Plath won the first game, did he not?
No,
he lost. Okay, so yeah, we're moving on to Game 3 of this riveting best-of-3 series. At our IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. Go to itsgosu.com. See all the events that we have coming up, not just for StarCraft 2, but we're starting to put events together for League of Legends, Heroes of New Earth, Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat. I know I'm missing another one in there. Dota 2, if it ever really comes out, and many, many more to come. I guess would be the best thing. Oh, he's going to take Belshire Beach. Mary McCheese, you're now the coolest person.
I am genuinely surprised that more Zergs do not select Belshire Beach. I'm not going to lie. That map is barely, maybe just short of being truly imbalanced towards Zerg. I mean, it is very, very close to being imbalanced. I'll flat out tell you, it favors Zerg, period. Zerg has an easier time doing just about everything on that map.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely Zerg. And, Mary McCheese, kudos.
Exactly.
For taking Belshire Beach, so that way I can make my Hamburglar references to the Beach Bandits and all kinds of things. So, yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be great.
Well, you know what we're going to get here, don't you? Cheeseburger in paradise. All right.
I was going to wait till we got into the game before we started singing the Jimmy Buffett, but if we're going to go ahead and tailgate it up.
Oh, no, you had tailgated, come on, man. That's 45-year-old, retirees or something. People on disability going down to Florida and getting I try to keep the stream clean, I really do, but I'm just going to say getting shit-faced out on the decks of their $80 a night beach house or what have you. That's what I think of when I think Jimmy Buffett. Just a bunch of folks who do not look good drunk in public.
Oh yeah. Oh, the absolute worst thing too is the arena pavilion out here by the house.
Right.
The Jiffy Lube Live Pavilion, which I think is the dumbest name for a rock concert. The
Jiffy Lube Pavilion.
The Jiffy Lube Live.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Jiffy Lube Live of all things. It's so weird. They're actually saying that now that they don't want people to tailgate there, and the Jimmy Buffett concert is coming up, and that's all anybody ever does. That's the only reason to go.
I was going to say, why would you go if you're not going to tailgate, man? Because let's be honest, who the hell wants to see Jimmy Buffett live?
Yeah, nobody wants to see Jimmy Buffett live unless you're having margaritas up the yang, and that's being nice to Jimmy Buffett and his fans. But yeah, no, those parrot heads are going to be pissed.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett's just basically one gigantic walking melanoma anyway. He's not even pretty to look at. So, anyway, enough Jimmy Buffett talk. We're moving into the game. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is...
Would you say that that's Buck melanoma? Mary Russell's wart?
A for effort, man. A for effort. That was a bit of a reach. That's okay, though.
That was a good reach.
Well, I made a few reaches last night, so you put up with me, huh? Like my gambled and lost reference. So if you can put up with that, I can certainly put up with yours. So anyway, Probably our sponsors probably don't want us announcing them after all this nonsense.
Yeah, that's right. These guys are chuckling.
There they are. These are the guys who pay us to say this nonsense. Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanyamabushi Jujutsu in combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So, going to be moving into the game. Oh, we're already in. Wow, I'm behind on this one. My bad. Very much my bad.
I thought we were just kind of, hanging out and talking while we were, waiting for things to occur in this matchup here.
Oh, so. No, last I checked, we were just getting ready to check. My bad, guys. All right, well, I can catch up. Spawning pool out first there, and he's actually going to be trying to be cute and hide this hatchery over there in the third natural expansion spot. For those who aren't familiar with this map, this is Belshire Beach. It was introduced in the GSTL May, and it's just such a pretty map. It really is a fun map to play on, too.
Oh yeah, it's pretty. It's one of the few not.
And nobody knows how to Sim City. Look at Plaf Sim City here.
Yeah, it's a great
just
job
a mess.
I like that.
Just a mess. It's all right though. But anyway, continue. Tell us how pretty it is.
It is very pretty. You have all the waterways there. You have the if you've never seen Belshire Beach, you've got the three the main area there in the corners, and then you have a nice well, not really close, but a fairly close natural, and then you have a third base further along the left. And then a lot of people say, well, you can't wall off your main. Yes, you can. It takes a barracks and a supply depot or a pylon and a gateway.
Right.
And then Zerg don't wall in. Well, they could, but it would just be really odd and annoying.
Right.
Now the golds are actually right out in front of your base, so they're actually right down the ramp.
Right.
From you.
So well, really, you can the remarkable feature of this map, to me anyway, no matter what race you are, and this is why this map really favors Zerg so much, is all the ways you can come at your opponent. You've got this one ramp that kind of comes in, say, if we're talking about the bottom position here, it kind of comes directly into the heart, then right across this little lock here. This destructible rocks make it so it's a little bit more narrow, but those go down pretty easily. So that's two right beside each other attack angles coming into the main. And then you've also got this ramp up straight into the third. And I'm not even sure that Mayor McCheese knows that's there, otherwise he wouldn't be expanding there, I don't think so. There's just so many ways for units to sneak in and get into bases and cause havoc. And, whenever you're talking about Zerg play, Zerglings really just get so vicious on this map.
Oh, yeah, I never noticed that they kind of put like a little treasure chest there, if you look just north of Mary McCheese's, third or second, I guess, there's like a little treasure chest on the beach. It's actually kind of interesting.
Hey, I see it. Yeah,
I've never noticed that they did that.
Yeah, you got to have the doodads, man. If it wasn't for the doodads, it would not be a Blizzard map. But for those who are curious, the native fauna to Belshire Beach here, the Scantipede. So we see Mayor McCheese jumping straight up to 3 hatcheries, and we're going to see 3 gates once again out of Plaf, playing extremely stable. 3-gate robo, getting the forward pylon. Got to be looking to take that Nexus sometime in the near future. So may as well settle in. I bet we're going to have another game like we did last time.
Probably. You're probably right about that. And Belshire Beach is such a great map for people that favor drops or any sort of like blink stalkers, because you do have that back area on both the bases that lead right from the gold right into the almost right next to the mineral line of the main. So it's always a kind of a cool thing. And I like on a map like this, not only do I favor the Ravens like I usually do, but Reapers do an amazing job here, just hopping up on that corner. So you can do a whole lot of really cool things.
Yeah, one little Zergling going to make it in here for McCheese. Just kind of snuck by. He's going to get a good run around and look. Going to spot the 3 gates of the Robo. I don't think that's going to be any surprise to him, though. And, again, I don't know if McCheese is familiar with this map, but really what he's doing here, trying to get up 3 hatches pretty quick, it's really just kind of doable as a Zerg opponent against a Protoss or a Terran. On Belshire Beach. Again, it's just your opponent is going to be so paranoid. There's so many ways to make it into his base that he spends all of his time trying to defend and account for your attack paths, and you just have almost by default an advantage in aggression. The threat of your aggression as a Zerg player on this map is oftentimes enough to give you room to expand in a way you normally wouldn't.
Oh yeah, and with excuse me. with him having all three of these hatcheries out, he can easily just go ahead and rally those offensive defensive units right from each hatchery right into the chokes of each one, and then just and that way he can defend pretty easily. We do see a little bit of pressure coming out right now for Plaff. He's got a good set of stalkers right there, a sentry, and a couple of zealots, and he's going to come right up to that destructible rock choke.
Good damage here. Only a couple of roaches going to be here to deal with this. The panic spine crawler is going up now. Might be a little too late though. He's gonna have to move in. Don't waste time. There you go, buddy. Now he's going to spot those going in. The Queen's going to move out, shamble, waddle herself out to try and deal with this. The Zealot's going to chase her all the way back. Now the Overlord's lost, so the supply block in effect for McCheese. Basically supply blocked after the loss of that Queen, 37 out of 38. Definitely going to lose this second hatch. Don't see anything happening over at the third hatch whatsoever, and back at home he's got the Roach War and the 2 Evo chambers, but if we check the production tab, we can see he's only got 3 roaches in production. 3 roaches not going to be enough to deal with this.
Oh yeah, really, Man McCheese was probably anticipating that Plaff was going to take a very passive role throughout the whole game and wait till the 15-20 minute mark to really put any sort of pressure on. So this is quite odd from Plaff to come out this early and really start taking such a gigantic lead.
He needs to stop fooling with the eggs here. He needs to go ahead and move on. But it's all right, and he'll take the roaches down as they hatch. And leave the larva alone, man. Going to take quite a while to take those guys out. Don't know why he's focused on that. He really needs to push into the main right now and not let McCheese try to reinforce himself. Actually, I'm surprised we're not seeing a lot more spine crawlers out of McCheese. This is going to be plenty enough. This should be GG.
Oh yeah, this is going to continue to pour in here. Great shielding right there, preventing any sort of run around from there. And there's the GG right there from Mayor McCheese. So Plaff is going to advance into the next round here on our IG Beta Divisional number 7 here from itsgosu.com. I'm Red Mage JR, and with me as always, my bromancer AC.
It's always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure to be here with you. We're going to be moving in, should be moving into our semifinals. I think we got to get a check of the brackets, but thanks so much to each and every one of you hanging out with us in the stream and in the BattleNet chat. Head to itsgosu.com. You can check out all of our events. I'll go ahead and pop the old calendar up there for you. We've got so much going on pretty much any given day of the week. Beta Divisionals, Alpha Divisionals, Omega Divisionals, our IG Cups, our King of the Hills, our Faction Wars, so much. And no matter what level of play you are, tonight we've got the bronze and the silver guys in the spotlight. Tomorrow night going to be the gold and the platinum. And, of course, following that on Wednesday, our typical Omega Cups with our diamond master and grandmaster level players. So first prize, by the way, for our Beta and Alpha Divisionals, always going to be 1 hour of coaching with the Revolution of Team Revoki. The guy managed to beat out an amazing field to take home the first place prize at the DC Land number 5. Managed to take down not take down directly, so to speak, but to advance and beat in terms of just winning the tournament. NRG Lucky Fool managed to best NRG Eve as well. A bunch more players over there. Avalo was absent from that event, so of course there's always going to be the trash talk about whether he could have done it if Avalo had been there. But Avalo actually won our first IG LAN event that we had last weekend. So anyway, we've got so much going on. The calendar you see right now is not all of our events. These are just our scheduled events. We do live events as well, and we're looking to expand that again over the summer. We're heading into June, the last month of our 2011 tournament series. July going to be the kickoff month for our 2011 summer series, and we want to get you involved as soon as possible. So, where are we at, Red Mage? Who's up next?
Just finding out the okay, there we go. So Fezzani, okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm having to do the brackets real quick.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be right there in just 1 second.
You take care of that, my friend. While he's doing that, if you're enjoying the tunes you're hearing in the background, by the way, check out these guys at these links: halotopic.newgrounds.com, myspace.com/Indigo League, and Ronald Jinkies that you're hearing right now, the remix of the Rocky song. You can find him at ronaldjinkies.com. Buy his album, Disorganized Fun. It's so good. I promise you won't regret it. And it really, Ronald Jinkies makes some amazing music to ladder to. You and I were talking about that. I actually tend to listen to Ronald Jinkies in the background whenever I'm laddering. You said you gave that a try today and had some success with it. So if you're looking for some ladder music, some competitive music, some stuff that's not going to be too distracting, it's going to give you that nice rhythm for your builds and what have you, definitely check out Ronald Jinkies at ronaldjinkies.com. So, again, this is the IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. Gosu.com. So looking ahead in the bracket right now, I can see Spec 8 and Strostocles, the Philosopher Strostocles, a guy we know very well. They're ready to go in the semifinals. Plath has just advanced, waiting to see who's going to come out of on top between Jaxoid and Fezzoni. So looks like we should be about ready to move forward on the semifinals.
Yeah, we're going to be watching Plath take on Fezzani right now. We're going to be starting off on Tau Dream Altair. That's going to be a great matchup right here. I think we're going to see a PvP. We're commenting in the chat that there's a lot of Protoss left here in the remainder.
Nice. 4-gate wars, nothing like it. Are we going to cast both of the semifinal matches this evening?
They've already started the other semifinal matchup.
That's fine. Just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. I'm AC. That's Red Mage JR. I hope you've had your pen and paper out and you've been jotting down the titles of the movies that we've been referencing this evening. Granted, Red Mage has done quite a few more than I have to this point, but we're trying to cut down on the number. The first time we tried this, we made it a little too easy. Did 17 movies in the course of one event, so we're slimming down a little bit. We're going to make you guys work for it, but the prize on the line, by the way, for the contest I'm talking about is packs of extremely limited edition Magic the Gathering cards of the Planeswalker series. They were you can explain better than I can what makes them so special, Red Mage, but they were only given out at one location, and that was the New York Comic Convention, right?
Yep, the New York Comic Convention in 2010. So they're a full year old in the Magic terms, and these cards are you can tell like the normal style Magic cards that come to you because they have the big Magic the Gathering at the top, and they've got all the seals and the writings and stuff on them. These are literally just they look like a regular playing deck card box, and they just have the picture with the little Magic the Gathering Planeswalker logo on it, and that's
right.
it. There's no other real markings on it, so it's a true collector's box
right.
that they were selling there at the 2010 convention there. And these a lot of these cards are pretty rare and are very good at tournament decks. A lot of people tend to use them for their Planeswalker tournament decks.
Right. Well, I know for a fact you and I were when these kind of, I don't want to say they fell into our lap. They're us having a hold of them as a result of one of our partnerships with one of our sponsors, and they gave them to us. And you used to play Magic. I played Magic way friggin' back in the day, man. Like in 2000, I played Magic for like a year, and But we were trying to figure out what the deal with these cards were. If we're going to give them away, we want to make sure we can build them correctly. We don't want to call them awesome if they're not awesome. At the same time, if they're awesome, we don't want to call them crappy. So, and we were looking at some of the prices. A good number of the cards that you can find in these decks we're giving away, they're worth upwards of 50, 60, even I think there's one that's worth $100, right?
Yeah. One of the rare ones is like 112.50 or something like that was the last eBay bid that I could find for it. And then I was even talking to my local comic book shop guy because they sell Magic cards there, and
right.
I told him that we had some of these. He goes, I might have to just watch just so I can win some of those.
Right.
So these are pretty impressive cards.
So you can even kind of treat them as a lottery ticket, really. Even if you want to be the real capitalist of it, it's like, oh, what do I have to gain? They retail for about $15 a pack. We've been told, or excuse me, they wholesale for about $15 a pack. That's what the retailers pay to get them to resell to the public. So you're looking to make a tidy profit, even if you're not into Magic, or even if you're into Magic, but you're still saying, hey, I'd rather have the money than the cards. Open up the pack, man. Maybe you'll land one of those good cards, and it's kind of like a scratch-off lottery ticket. You walk away with a smile on your face, and if nothing else, maybe just even if you open it up and don't want to save it, even though it's a collector's edition or what have you, get some pretty decent cards, from what I understand, out of the Planeswalker series. Oh
yeah, tons of really, really good stuff. So yeah, like AC said, even if you're not a fan of Magic, I like to collect the Magic cards just because I like looking at the pretty pictures. I'm a simple man, so I like simple things. Actually, the other day I unpacked all my Magic cards just to take a look at them, again, and they're old. I mean, I've been playing. I was playing Magic back when Magic came out,
right?
Way back in this is really going to be bad. 1989, 1990.
Oh, wow.
I think when they came out.
Yeah.
So, a long, long time. I've got a ton of the original stuff that you can't even use anymore because they're so overpowered.
Right.
And but they're just cool. They're still cool to look at. The artistry nowadays is still way better. But I remember sitting there and sitting in the hallways at school and just going crazy with Magic cards or whatever. So. And that's just kind of the nerdy thing that you do. We do see that Fezani. I almost called him Fez, like the rag.
I keep wanting to call him Fazoli's.
Yeah, Fazoli's. Holy Fazoli's.
Right. Well, I'm thinking of the. I don't want to call it bad because it's not terrible, but the fast food Italian restaurant. And yeah, we're going to see the 4-gate now out of Fazoli's. I'm just going to go ahead and call him that instead of trying to fight it. And as well, Plath getting down his 4 gates as well. Going to be some funky timings, I think. And again, and we're not trying to knock on anybody, not trying to make fun of anybody, but these are Bronze and Silver League players. Going to be some gaps in their play. That's okay. Doesn't matter. We get a lot of entertainment out of it. We got to see a mothership already. And the moment that's going to go down in history, about 2, 3, maybe a month ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, somewhere in that range, we got to see a bona fide Colossus drop. The very standard Colossus harassment, where you load up a warp prism with a Colossus and drop it on someone's mineral line.
Yeah, not the greatest. And I still would like to see the interior of that warp prism with that Colossus just shoved in there. Like, I mean, like the legs must have been bent up to everything. Because I know just trying to stick like my carry-on into the overhead compartment.
All right, Plath's got to be warping in here. He's going to catch Fazani way out of position. Fazani, I'm just going to run on past it. Nah, you can go into the base, bro. It's fine. A little bit of sloppy control out of both players now. Maybe a little bit of a panic moment knowing they're being casted and all that. Looks like, come on, Plath. There you go, buddy. Going to be able to back up now, warp in another round. Some Zealots coming in, and Fazani way behind. Only 5 Stalkers now against 4 Zealots, and what looks to be 5 Stalkers. Needs to get his whole army involved here. Fazani could actually turn around and kind of start damaging this. But Plath continuing the push now. Going to be a micro battle. The Zealots get in way too close to those Stalkers. Going to have to pull them back. And now Plath's broken the threshold. Needs to keep those Zealots on the Stalkers. He gains nothing by pulling them back and allowing them to just be shot and pounded to death. Going to take down one of those pylons. And losing a pylon actually pretty important because that puts a supply cap on his opponent. Plath has 4 of these Stalkers kind of hanging around the back. He's going to lose another one. So even though Plath was what seemed to be, to me, miles ahead, all of a sudden Fazani's going to be able to push this and clean this up, I think.
Oh yeah, and great job there. Even though it was a little bit of miscontrol at the beginning, this is a great way to just repel your opponent and possibly continue moving on. So that's great.
Yeah, Plath was starting to run out of steam. I mean, no. I mean, I'm with you. I'm just I'm a little baffled as how Fazoli's here has managed to win. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little baffled. Because Plath arrived with what seemed to be at least 5 Stalkers and 1 or 2 Zealots. And Fazoli's at that point had like 2 Zealots, 3 Stalkers, and he lost half of them without them firing a shot. So
yeah, and it wasn't like he was really like mass producing a lot of units. I mean, even right now we see him not really producing anything. He's now getting a Stalker, but for the longest time during that engagement, nothing was being built out of anybody. And then all of a sudden, Plath would warp in a unit. His units, and then that was about it. But yeah, I was kind of looking at the same thing. Like, where was he hiding them? Was there like a magic cloak or something that had them, that turned them invisible, and all of a sudden he revealed it, and then all of a sudden out come the Stalkers or something? I don't know.
Honestly, I think he probably warped him in and didn't. When in his panicked box and drag, box and gather, then click. Movements. He probably had about 4 or 5 hanging around that he just didn't box up until the last minute. But yeah, this is going to be your GG, Plath. That's really the hallmark of any sort of a 4-gate push, and no matter what level you're at, be it Bronze, Silver, all the way up to Master, Grandmaster. If you do a true 4-gate, a true 100% 4-gate rush off of 1 gas, where you cut the probes as both players did, if it doesn't succeed, you have no way to jump back in it. You're just too handicapped in terms of supply. You really can't continue to warp in too many more units. And Fazani, just going to continue to push here and should be seeing the GG out of Plath anytime now.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's the GG right there by Plath. Great job there by both opponents coming into this first round of the semifinals. Best of 3 series here. Plath, unfortunately, went through a pretty good series there between Mayor McCheese, but it looked like it looked like he was just caught unawares there. And I guess he expected that pressure to work, and it didn't. So unfortunately, he does fall 1-0 right now to Fazani. And we're all going to get the map choice up right there. I'm Red Mage, that's AC, and we're going to be showing you guys all the IG Beta Divisional number 7 matchups that we can here. And, of course, next we're going to be going into Zonaga Caverns.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Mama's
great.
milk.
Yeah, there you go.
Mama's milk.
Mama's milk right there.
Mama's biscuits and gravy in the morning. And thanks so much, guys, each and every one of you hanging out with us in the stream, hanging out with us in the BattleNet chat. As he said, I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is the IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by Gosu.com, and brought to you by these guys that I have to talk about because they give us money to talk about. From Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanya Mabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So get in the ready check right now. Gonna have a bio break, it looks like. So just a quick 1 or 2 minute break is that gonna be not Plav out of Fazoli's. So I hope everyone's having a good Memorial Day, by the way. It's been kind of nice for me, just kind of been kicking back, taking it easy. How's yours been, my friend?
It's been pretty good. I got to play in the yard a little bit. Got to play with the chainsaw, taking down some down trees from
awesome.
the way. So that's always fun. You get to play with power tools and smack talk some trees. Get to smack talk Mother Nature.
Exactly.
So always. And I didn't lose any fingers or toes. That was another good thing too. So
that's always.
We're really looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So. If you're joining us in the stream, by the way, make sure you sign up for whatever events happen to suit your level of play, I should say. We popped the calendar up there for you. This is our Beta Divisional tonight for our Bronze and Silver League players, Alpha Divisional. Tomorrow night, Gold and Platinum League players, welcome there, and then our Omega Divisionals, Diamond Master and Grandmaster level players. I really want to see them come out. The prizes for our Beta and Alpha Divisionals going to be 1 hour professional coaching with Revolution, a top player in the United States, an amazing guy, and really just a hell of a good player. He managed to win the DC Land number 5 just a couple of weeks ago. And, I know you spent some time with him there, Red Mage. He really kind of helped you out a lot, didn't he?
He sure did. I only had about 15, 20 minutes with him, and he told me to do 1 or 2 just little quick things, and it helped my playstyle amazing, super duper much. But then again, that was I just kind of flounder around like a fish when I'm playing, so it really doesn't so there was a whole lot of room to work. But but yeah, he was absolutely amazing, and watching him just absolutely trounce the field at Lucky Fool's LAN event, and then even coming up very close to winning our LAN event on Saturday. Even though Avalo just completely came in and did what Avalo does and just started kicking doors in.
Oh yeah,
very good player right there, and well worth his Grandmaster status. Even at the age of 15, he's a smoking good player.
Oh yeah, and and it was real nice to meet him. I got to admit, it's. I don't know. There was just something about him that made me think that he was I pictured him as this tall, lanky guy, and maybe a little bit older, but no, that wasn't the case. He was just this real nice, real kind, kind of young guy. Reminded me a bit of Huck, to be honest. I mean, not so much in the way he looked, but just his demeanor, the way he carried himself. So, yeah, and, keep an eye out, by the way, guys. We're going to be doing a lot more live events. Next month, we're going to be having a charity event, actually. We're going to be working with Child's Play, and I know Red Mage is as well, looking forward to that so much. Child's Play is a charity that we love more than words can say, working with some kids who've got some stuff going on in their lives, and we want to give them some joy when they're trying to deal with a difficult thing. So,
because what kid doesn't want video games?
Oh, exactly. And if I may be permitted to be a bit sentimental for a moment, I think that's really why I love Child's Play as a charity, and what they do is, kids who are sick or have gone, whatever their ailment is, or whatever reason they're in the hospital. More than anything, they just want a chance to be a friggin' kid, man. They don't want to be locked up in a hospital room like an adult. They want to be able to play outside or just mess around with their friends. And Child's Play really helps kids experience that. These kids who, for whatever reason, they're sick and they're in the hospital for these extended periods of time or what have you. It gives them a chance to feel normal, to play video games like their friends do, to compete, even at video games. And that's something that really means a lot to Red Mage and I. So keep it locked, guys, for more information on that. We're not asking you to donate money. We probably will at some point, to be perfectly honest. It is a fundraiser, but even if you don't, just join us in the stream. We're going to be donating all proceeds from the stream directly to Child's Play. So even just having you in, just joining us for some great games, that's helping us out a lot. So mark it on your calendar. Have we picked an exact day for that yet?
I believe we're looking at the 28th, is I believe what we're looking at.
Okay, so yeah, if you can, guys, just keep it locked. Hit follow. I mean, that's a good way to keep up with it. Hit follow on Justin TV, but If you've already
or
done
follow
that,
us on Twitter or that kind of thing, or Facebook, because we'll be announcing all that stuff as we start rolling out the details. So.
Yeah, exactly. But you go ahead and circle the 28th and just mark it down. Even if you just join us for one match, we just want to get everybody involved. So right back to the action. Plaff jumping up the 4 gates, as one would expect. And surprise, surprise, Fazoli's doing the same thing. So Fazoli's, I'm not sure. I hate to put it this way, but I'm not sure if it was Plaff screwing up or Fazoli being good enough to beat Plaff back despite being so far behind. I'm not sure what really determined that last matchup.
Yeah, that was just an odd ending. I mean, it was a great counter push there by Fasani, but it was just odd. It just didn't seem to match up quickly. But right now we see that these guys are pretty much right on top of each other with what they're making when they're getting stuff out. Both of them, the warp gates are just now finishing, so it'll just be a couple of seconds until they all open up, and then we could possibly see some pressure. We see Plaff as a zealot and a stalker just outside of his base, and at the same time we see Fasani with a stalker and a zealot right outside their base. So they're taking a very conservative approach to this, and it looks like they're going to take the common knowledge hallway.
No, I think he's just scouting there.
Oh, just scouting. I was going to say that would be great.
No.
Take the common knowledge hallway all around just to completely avoid the center of the map here. But yeah, we've got Plaff kind of moving out with 2 stalkers and a zealot.
Did you spot the pylon? I just now spotted it down the bottom of Fasani's base here. So, and by the way, I've been calling him Fazoli. I know I've been doing that on purpose just because that's what I thought when I saw his name. I'm not retarded. I can read, I promise. But
it's the Fez.
Exactly.
It's hot Fez.
We're going to have a base trade. I hate when this happens at a PvP in a 4-gate war. They're just going to run into each other's base, and there's not going to be anything there to stop either of them. It's going to turn into one of those crazy base trades. So here we go. Plaff going to move in. He's going to see us completely naked. Going to go to work on the pylons. That's the good call. First thing you should always do, and we're going to see Fasani do the exact same thing.
You know what I had completely missed, and I saw it, but I didn't see it. Plaff had those proxy pylons.
Oh no, I had it on. Yeah, I had it on the cam.
Okay, because I kept looking at him and just going, oh, he's got. I thought it was Fasani's for the longest time, and I never clicked on Plaff's army there.
Well, right now, I don't know why Fasani's not pulling his probes. I mean, he's lost too many of them now for it to make a difference. But whenever you're talking about, an ending that's going to be like this crazy base trade, every unit counts. You need to pull the probes and try to do something with them. Once he got 400 minerals, enough to build another Nexus. So then we just get to wait it out now and see who comes out ahead.
Yeah, it looks like Plaff's going to go ahead and throw down his Nexus right there and be good to go. And it looks like, I don't think Fasani, I don't think has any more, doesn't have any more. He's got a probe hiding out somewhere. Oh, it's over there. It's down by the natural of Plaff, or the true natural Plaff, I should say. He really needs to move that out somewhere and start making a proxy, or not really a proxy, but a new main, because that's going to fall pretty soon. And as soon as they spot that probe, it's all over.
Right, well, if we go to the Army tab, we're going to get a clearer picture of things. Plaff does have the bigger army, and now that the Nexus is gone for both players, their bases are going to be revealed. Actually, Plaff, with the other one being built, he's not going to be revealed. So not sure if Fasani's going to catch that, given that message there didn't pop up for his opponent. He's going to have to know there's another Nexus on the map somewhere. Fasani a little bit behind in terms of army count as well, so he's going to have to really handle this well if he hopes to come out ahead.
Oh yeah, and he's got to be aware that there are all those probes that did manage to get out there. There's that one hidden up in his own base, so we can see in an instant, like an actual base trade. Plaff can put a new Nexus up in Fasani's base, when he gets enough, and then that will really just kind of cement everything. Now we see that Plaff is taking the back road here, checking everything out, making sure there's nothing just kind of out of the ordinary there, trying to look for the remainder.
He's going to win because Fasani's... Nope, okay, never mind. Fasani stopped. He's going to be able to take down this one pylon. And here we go. We're going to see it happen. We're going to see the Stalker Ball. Looks like about 8 of them taking on Plaff. He's lower in Stalker count, but the Zealot count's higher. So it's going to depend on how he wants to control it. The Zealot's being filtered through the minerals there, forcing the Stalkers back. Just needs I don't know if he knows it, but he just needs to target the pylon. Actually, taking that back, Fasani's built another Nexus right back in his main. So he can't just waste the units. I think Plaff committed there, thought that he was going to come out on top with the loss of that pylon. So 5 Stalkers to 6 Stalkers. He's going to get off one good shot, though, and even up the score immediately. We see the Stalkers being target fired down here for Fasani. Bad control for Fasani, going to cost him the game. So Plaff going to win here at our IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Yeah, great matchup right there between the two of them. So Plaff's going to take this one. It's 1-1 right now. So Fasani is going to get to choose the next round up here in this best of 3 series here in the semifinals of the IG Beta Divisional number 7. Looking to see what he's going to pick here. At this point, I would probably think he might go for maybe a Metalopolis, maybe a
something
little test
familiar.
bug. Yeah, something a little bit before. He's going to go to Shakuras. Of all places, I would not have suspected him to go for such a large map. I would have expected something close. But I guess, I guess he wants that kind of distance, so there's no early rushing, but he's going to rely heavily on that 4-gate action like they have been the last couple of games.
Right. So Plaff coming out on top in the 4-gate wars. We're in the semifinals here of our IG Beta Divisional number 7. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and these are our sponsors: Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So, jumping right into the game, yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Shakura's Plateau as well. I mean, it's not bizarre or anything. It just, given that these players are kind of playing an old style of PvP, pure 4-gate, pure all the time. Shakura's is a little bit of an odd map. Maybe, it was Plaff that selected that. Maybe Plaff wants to try and change things up.
Maybe. We did see that Plaff did a really good job when he was facing off against Mayor McCheese there. He had enough room to go ahead and make himself a mothership. Because there was a little less aggression, but Fasani seems to favor. I wouldn't say early aggression or a lot of aggression, just enough aggression to really put your opponent off a little bit. And at these young stages here in the leagues, it's kind of it can be kind of mind boggling to get off like that and not be able to recuperate what you're doing.
Right. So we're gonna see Fasani spawning in the purple here, our purple Protoss hero. A lot of P's coming up in our pastel Protoss hero. Plaff spawning down in the bottom left. So cross bomb positions here. And really, I'd like to see something different, but no real reason to think, even with the pylon placements, we can kind of get an idea that there's no real reason to think we're going to see anything but 4-gate.
Yeah, with the 4-gate going on, right there, we see those the early probes going out right now. Well, I can't really say that they're early. They're right about
scout
on time,
probes.
But those scout probes coming out pretty soon, and looks like Plaff is going right for the close air, and then he's going to go right to the cross spawn. So he's definitely familiar enough with this map to know what's going on. And we see that, there you go. So, Fasani doing the same thing, going first to cross map and then to close positions. And that's exactly what you need to do, because on a map this size, the last thing you want to do is misclick where you want that scout to go, because they can easily set you back 10 to 15 seconds about what
we're going to see a cannon rush. The forge about halfway done here for Plaff. So Plaff's going to be trying to get cute. Don't know how or when or why, but he's going to be trying to do something with that forge. Where's his probe?
It's right there in the main, right there next to the. Looks like he's gonna. Nope, he's gonna pull back a little bit. Looks like. There he goes. Now he's coming back.
I mean, to take the forge that quickly, he's banked mineral. He's up to 300 minerals now. Taking his time choosing his spot here. Needs to get those going. Needs to build a pylon.
And he's got.
What did he?
Plaff's got a cannon building somewhere.
He's building his ramp. What?
Okay, he's got a couple of defensive things. I guess he's going to try to go for another warp gate, and I guess to prevent a base trade situation like he had last time. I guess is what he's going to do.
But he's going to be so far behind. I mean, if the 4-gate comes, he's going to be demolished. I mean, if really two photon cannons do not hold a 4-gate push, they just don't.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is again, this could come down, and this is not a totally negative thing, but this is what comes from experience, knowing exactly what your opponent's doing and exactly how to perform your builds correctly.
Again, a 4-gate demolishes this here. I mean, a 4-gate will demolish this. Just walk over top of it.
Yeah, he pulled that probe back. He did get seen. He had plenty of time to lay down that pylon and start that cannon rush, pretty well. He could have had that going right now, and
we're seeing a second gas now out of Fasani, so he's not going to push. He's not going to be doing a 4-gate this time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I would have, seen that probe in there, seen that there's not that proxy warping going to happen, would have instantly triggered me to mass produce some units and really do a push. But
no, he is going to 4-gate. He's just going to do it off of 2 gas. Okay, whatever, guys. Whatever. I'm not even going to try to analyze anymore. I'm just going to call it how I see it, because this makes no sense. Like, I must be taking crazy pills or something. So the 4 gates now down for Fasani. We see Plaff with his 3 cannons at his main. I mean, if he had it down here and he was fast expanding, okay, I'd get it. I get that. But to just protect, just to build cannons at your main, it doesn't make a ton of sense.
Well, what he could be doing, too, Fasani could be doing, is he's building those extra ones there. We could see that maybe he's going to get DTs.
He would have had the Twilight Council down by now. I mean, he's spending a lot of gas on Stalkers and Sentries now. So if he was going to go DTs, he should have been doing that a while ago. But DT's not going to match up well against cannons anyway. So I mean, I don't know. I think he's just doing a very safe, sluggish, slow 4-gate. I think that's what's happening.
A mid-game 4-gate, so to speak.
Yeah, he hasn't cut probes either, so this isn't... And, I got to be honest, even players at higher levels, gold, platinum level players, really get confused as to what constitutes a 4-gate rush and why it's disgustingly good in a lot of situations. It's a pretty all-in build. I mean, it's very rare. I mean, there are times when you do enough damage with it but don't outright win that you can transition out of it. It's rare, but it happens. But what makes a 4-gate good is the amount of pressure that's poured on, how early it comes, and the fact that you can keep it up for about 2, 3, sometimes, depending on how tight your macro is, 4 warp-ins. And you can just keep pouring the pressure on, and that push, if you do it correctly, should get stronger every time you begin to push up the ramp. When you do stuff like tack on a second gas, you don't cut probes, you really take away from that. We're already at the 8-minute mark, coming up on it, and we're just now seeing the proxy pylon go down here for Fasani. So this is going to be a 4-gate rush that's going to arrive well over 2 minutes late.
Right, we do see that robotics facility going down right now. Plaff go ahead and starting to move out a little bit down to his naturals main. It looks like he's going to go ahead and expand right now into that, and that's going to get all of that scene right there that Fasani has stacked up, those 3 zealots and that one probe right there.
If this was his plan, why didn't he just build the cannons at the bottom ramp? Anyway, Fasani going to run in with the zealots here. Why is he dead? Don't know why he was targeting the Nexus. Nothing to gain there. He forced the cancel, sure, but he's lost more than the Nexus was worth in zealots and basically killed nothing. So, I don't know, man. It's our beta divisional. It's bronze, silver. No problem, guys. No problem. We're not hating. We're not hating on you. I'm just I'm trying to get my head around the super high level play of our players. That's how I'm going to say it.
There you go. And sometimes it's just one of those things. Sometimes you're trying to do something and just seeing what you can do. And it's all about fiddling with the game. When you're starting to learn it. I'm still fiddling with the game. That's why I'm still 29 bronze. But here we go.
All right, so we're going to see Plaff just walk out and allow his units to get slaughtered a little bit. The Guardian Shields go up to protect against the 3 Stalkers. Should have been using those on force fields. He actually could have really done a lot of damage if he had force fielded that army in half as it retreated. We see the cannon going down now for Plaff. He's just going to secure things, and, okay. I mean, he'll hold his ramp, I guess. I mean, Fasani is going to run a probe around and build another proxy pylon.
Honestly, that would have been good for him to put that behind the reeds and behind the refineries and just warp them into the base there, and then just all you had to do was run Oz Zealot up there and do what you can, and then just warp everything up there to get that high ground vision.
Right, that photon cannon going to work.
He kind of has the high ground vision there, I guess.
No, he can't see up there. That's from where we're in spectator mode.
Right.
So, all right, Stalkers now. Stalker count actually got pretty high off of that last round of warp-ins for Fasani. Going to move in, but he's going to have to contend with force fields, cannons, and a small little army here for Plaff. Plaff doing what he can, actually target firing down the Stalkers, doing a pretty good job of it. The Zealots going to work as best they can, and this is being handled pretty well. It's really going to depend on what Plaff has left in the tank to warp in to finish it out. Fasani's going to come out on top, at least temporarily. Target firing down now that second photon cannon. There's some cannons here at the top of the ramp. Plaff bringing in more sentries. Going to lose this second Nexus without a doubt, though. So Fasani really needs to be taking that expansion behind this. He's right now. Yeah, I mean, he could try to break this. It's going to be tough with such a small army, even with these stalkers augmenting things. I would probably try to push up. The problem is the sentries. The sentries can kind of complicate things. But so long as you can get one stalker up to the top, and it can live a little while, all those the stalkers down at the bottom of the ramp are going to be able to go to work as well. But it looks like Fasani really, if he wants, needs to not be taking that damage. If he just hangs out here at the bottom of the ramp, contains his opponent, gets up his expansion, he'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, he'll be able to, just kind of hold out there because his opponent will eventually mine himself out. And right now, he's probably got less than, 2,000 or 3,000 minerals left in that main. So at some point, he's gonna run out of steam in there, and he's going to have to move out. And,
right.
Fasani, really just needs to, just like you said, just needs to go and take that expansion. He does have the probe just sitting there waiting to get that 400. There we go. And that's exactly what you want to do with that kind of aggression. You want to be able to push your opponent back, take your expansion safely, and then just kind of either hang out or do something else. And now Plath getting that warp prism right there, it's going to allow him to either drop into the base or move units out and drop them at a proxy nexus somewhere if he can get to one. There's Plath right there in the bottom right hand corner. He's got one little drone probe ready to go as soon as he can get something over there. I guess he really needs to just go and start building a nexus because it's not like Fasani's out on the board looking at all the other expansion areas, looking to see if his opponent's making something somewhere.
Yeah, I mean Plath is, and you know what? Just force fielding for the hell of it. Don't worry about it, bro. Just going to throw up force. I'm not even sure who's doing that. I'm not sure which of the two players is doing it. I'm going to guess it's Plath.
I'm going to guess Plath. Yeah.
If he does it again, I'll be able to tell because I'm watching his sentries. It doesn't matter. I hear the warp prism loading something up. There we go. Loading up 4 zealots, so it looks like he's going to try and get a little counter pressure. The forge down now for Fasani and the robotics facility as well. Fasani really, he doesn't even need to fool with a forge, or any of this nonsense. All he has to do is build about 5 more gateways, get this second expansion up, get his probe count higher while trying to hold the bottom of the ramp, and he could just A-move.
Yeah, and we see that that Plath does have that observer over in the natural of Fasani, just seeing what's going on. We see a Stargate going down right now. He canceled the robotics bay and went ahead and put a Stargate, 1 Stargate, 2 Stargates going down right now. Oh, this could get really interesting very quickly here for Fasani.
Well, it looks like Fasani's going to try and push up the ramp. He's going to get force fielded in half there by Plath. Plath handling that pretty well. Not sure why Fasani decided to do that. Just cost himself some units. He's doing his job just fine, just holding the ramp. He doesn't need to do damage. So we see that warp prism inching ever so close by Plath, hanging out just south of this expansion by Fasani. So don't know if he's going to drop. The stalkers are there, just kind of hanging back. Maybe he's suspecting something's going to be going on. But Stargates, I'm not sure why he's fooling with that. Just make more gateways, man. Make more gateways, make some probes, and then go win. But so Warp Prism moving up the right side now. Carrier on the way out of Fasani, wanting to put the exclamation point on his win when that carrier pops out. Plath taking the long road around, taking the scenic route. Jeez, making sure that he doesn't get spotted. And I guess he'll do something with it eventually. In the meantime, Fasani bringing his troops back home, says, that's fine, I've delayed your expansion enough, I guess. I'll let you do what you gotta do, bro. The Warp Prism. Yeah, now he's gonna decide to move in. 4 Zealots, we're gonna see just how good of a warp in he can get off these units. There go the Zealots. Now he's gonna open it up and probably warp something in. Yeah, there we go. A couple more Zealots on the way. He's actually gonna be able to do a good amount of damage. Extremely bad reaction time here by Plath. I don't know what Plath's doing. He didn't pull the probes at all. He's going to lose his entire mains probe line. Are you kidding me?
That is, wow, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, stop dealing with the assimilator and just start going for the nexus or probes or pylons or something. But now Fasani has brought back that huge stalker ball, just ravaging these zealots right now and kind of ending that. But the damage is done there in the main line. There's not a whole lot. He's down to just whatever probes he has in the natural. I mean, right now he's down to 25. I'm sorry, he's down to 22 harvesters right now. So that's not terrible, but I mean they're both up to 22 to 25 harvesters at the 19-minute mark.
Right, so he's basically negated that expansion's advantage. He's basically brought it back to one base versus one base.
Yep, that's exactly right. And we see this Void Rays just kind of hanging out right now, waiting for yet another one to pop up here. And that slight delay. Plath really needs to just make some sort of unit producing structures. Just needs to make something, and then just get up on your cache again, and then just do a mass warp in with something. Just do something with that cache, because he's floating awful heavy right now. He's floating up around 700 minerals. He was up about 1,500 a second ago until he started building those starports with those Void Rays. But
he's basically mined out. There's going to be this gap here where his income is going to be next to nothing. Yeah, he's only got about 160 minerals left in the main, so he's going to be on one base regardless. He's pretty much on no base right now. So Fazani looks like he wants to try and end things right now. Going to be using the Void Rays to deal with these Immortals and these Sentries, I'm sure. But, kind of pretty close in supply. Good sentry count for both players. Sentry is going to be much more important for Plaf. So here we go. Fazani going to begin to push up. Going to see some force fields. I don't know who threw those up. Not sure who's doing what there, because I don't know who's going to benefit from those, really, the way that they were thrown down. Doesn't matter.
It's like a circle slap fight.
Right. These Void Rays doing their job, though, going to work, drawing the sentries fire. They need to be focused firing down, those Immortals. Now we see Fazani's crack things. He's going to get right back up into the natural. And Plaf's got to move out. He can't lose the natural. If he loses the natural, he's without a doubt going to lose the game. The Void Ray is going to be remaining intact. One still alive. No kills on it yet. The Stalkers need to be targeting the Void Ray. Not going to be doing that. And, this is GG. I mean, I got a feeling Plaf's going to probably drag things out a bit, but he has no base. He has nothing to mine in his main. He's even going to lose all those probes. So, Plaf's kind of screwed.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot for Plaf right now. He's only got 9 probes, basically mining, or they were basically doing nothing but getting through the assimilator. There's a couple of them just kind of hanging out, but there's nowhere for him to really go or do anything, and he's kind of out of money, so to speak.
He has nothing
at this point.
This is GG. He's not mining. He has no income at all, and no army. All he has is cannons. So why not just GG?
Yeah, I think he's trying to maybe come up with a plan. Maybe going to do some sort of long mining. But I don't think he quite knows what to really do right now.
I'm just as baffled by Fazani pulling back. Why is Fazani pulling back?
Yeah, he should have gone in and
it looks like there was a drop back here, but it's kind of irrelevant. It's a couple of zealots. He didn't need to pull the whole army back to deal with it. So, I guess we're just going to hang out. There we go.
Oh, there's
the GG. I think Plaf finally realized how dire his situation was. So, Fazani going to be advancing to the finals here of our IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Absolutely right about that, AC. As we get into the finals right here, it's the best of 5 finals. We're going to start on Terminus RE. This is going to be a whole lot of fun right now. Seeing, oops, wait a minute. As I type in the right one, because I keep forgetting to put in the Terminus RE into the old bookmarks there.
No problem.
But he'll be taking on Spec 8 in the finals there. So this is going to be pretty slick as we get into. Invite the game and Fazani.
All right. Well, he's setting that up. These are our sponsors once again, guys. Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Check them out at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So, who's going to be taking on Fazoli's in our finals here?
Spec 8.
Spec 8, a guy, I don't think we've dealt with him too much. He hasn't. I don't recognize his name like I do a lot of the other names in our events.
Yeah, I definitely don't recognize him from that, and I don't know if just because
I'm not hearing you too well here, Red Mage. All of a sudden,
I'm sorry. I was faced away from the thing. I'm trying to update the bracket, so sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with Spec 8 myself either.
Oh well, we'll get a good look at him, I'm sure. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is the IG Beta Divisional number 7. Head to itsgosu.com, get acquainted with all of our events, betas, alphas, omega divisionals, what have you. So, looks like we're getting the ready check. Yes, both players are ready, so thanks so much for joining us in the Justin TV chat. We're heading into our last few games for tonight, so just want to remind viewers once again of our little contest we've got going on. We're giving away some very special edition Magic the Gathering cards that are only available one time at the Comic Convention in New York. And, it's good times. All you have to do to win is get down a little pen and paper or what have you. Write down movies that you hear us reference, movies that we don't mention by name, mind you. Maybe we quote something. Maybe we just, make a little snide remark that makes you think of that movie. Write down 3 of those at least and email that plus your Justin.tv screen name, and you have to follow us to be eligible for this as well. Follow us on Justin TV. Email us that to contest@itsgosu.com. You'll be automatically entered into the drawing. We're going to be sending out 2 packs of those tonight.
Yep, we'll be sending out 2 packs. Normally it's just 1 pack a night, but because we didn't give them away yesterday, we'll be doing it today. So we hope that everybody will try to participate. Again, just send it to contest@itsgosu.com with your 3 guesses and make sure you do include your little Justin TV name, because a couple of people did have to resend me that, so because they did forget. So just make sure you put that in there for me, just so when we're looking through the answers there, we can make sure we get your get the prize pool going properly. So we definitely want to make sure everybody gets those. And I think our 2 winners, DJ Final and Dan Evasion, are actually going to their cards are being sent out tomorrow after the holiday. So they should be getting those and be very happy campers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, by the way, the contest is open until 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the West Coast or you've got some friends you think might be interested, all they have to do is come and watch the replay. Just go to our movies list down at the bottom. You'll see that pop up a few minutes after we cut the broadcast for tonight. We want to make sure everyone has a chance to go back and rewatch if they need to try and pick up on those and, all that fun stuff. So you've got until 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, midnight Pacific Standard Time to get those emails into us. So right back into the action here. A PvP final. Fazani going to be spawning at the 9 o'clock position in the red. And Spec 8, our green Protoss hero that we haven't yet seen tonight, going to be spawning at the 12 o'clock. Throwing down that pylon down at the bottom. Looks like he wants the Forge Fast expand.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the...
Absolutely right, AC.
You're absolutely right about that, AC.
Oh, yeah.
We see that there's it looks like it's going to be a Forge Fast expand right there for
Just
Spec 8.
That's actually what I said.
Damn it! See, this is what I get for I turned my head after I was done doing the brackets.
Right.
I clicked on our stream chat, so just so I can make sure I was that. So
it's fine, brother. Hey, we're smiling. It's been a good Memorial Day for us. A little bit of Bronze and Silver League action. Oh, did you have some good food, man? I ate a good amount of food today. I'm quite pleased with the burgers I had today.
Oh yeah, I cooked some steaks up on the grill. Real nice. And I was trying to shovel them on my face because of course. Wait a minute. Hold a second. Looks like we're getting an issue here.
With what?
According to somebody, Strostocles didn't play.
Didn't play?
Didn't play. So hold on a second.
All right, you deal with that. I'll try and keep
let me do it. Yeah,
going.
you go about the business here.
Yeah, not a problem. Cybernetic score going down now for Spec 8. Going to be continuing to put together that wall at the front. And really, on a map like this, as big as it is and as comfortable as it happens to feel, it can be very, very, very badly punished by a 4 Warp Gate rush. Cannons are intimidating until you kind of put into perspective just how strong or relatively weak they are. I mean, 5 probes, for example, 5-6 probes, can actually take down a cannon before it finishes warping in if they start attacking just as it's put down, for example. Zealots, just a handful of Zealots, 2-3 Zealots can easily kill a cannon. So, okay. You're asking in the chat, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's no other way for me to really get to it.
Did they not play?
They didn't play. So I thought I read in the chat that he won 2-0 over Strostocles. So,
all right, looks like we're gonna have to back out, guys. So, I'm not sure. There must have been some confusion there. Spec 8 and Strostocles should have been playing. So I guess we'll go ahead and commentate them. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. And this is the IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. Going to have a little bit more action on the table tonight. Nothing wrong with that, though, Red Mage.
Oh, absolutely not. Give me 1 second while I fix this.
Not a problem. You handle that. I'll bring up our sponsors once again. Make sure I bring up our sponsors after I admit that we're screwing up. Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Sanyamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. And I'll go ahead and pop up our music credits as well. If you're digging the tunes you've been hearing in the background, check out all of these links. HaloTopic.newgrounds.com, MySpace.com/Indigo League, and Ronald Jinkies at RonaldJinkies.com. Buy his album, Disorganized Fun. I promise you're not going to regret it. It's one of the best albums I've ever heard, and he's one of my favorite musicians in the world. So we're going to have Strostocles taking on Spec 8, correct?
Spec 8, yeah.
All right, looks like the guys just didn't get the memo. They were supposed to have been playing while we did the last semifinal. Not sure where the confusion came from. No worries, though. Just a little bit more StarCraft action on our plate for the evening. I'm never adverse to that. So, yeah, getting that set up.
Yeah, give me 1 second while I get all that worked out. Just wanted to... There we go.
All right, so I've got some players asking about the confusion in the chat now. Yeah, our competitors, please, guys, whenever you turn out for these events, please follow our instructions. It kind of sets things back.
Yeah, because apparently what it was is they wanted to be casted, but they didn't tell anybody that they wanted to be casted. I was told that they were already playing, so.
Yeah, I'll let it slide this time. No joke, guys. You do that again, I'll DQ you both.
Yeah, so yeah,
Seriously. That's kind of a jackass move, to be honest.
Well, I think there was a confusion on my part because I didn't.
I thought they intentionally. Okay, so they didn't intentionally tell you that they were going in wait.
No, they just. It was just me because it was just weird because since there are no other admins working in the chat, it's just me. So I'm having to pop it back and forth while trying to do.
No problem.
So
if it's honest confusion.
I will take the total, crack up on that one. But yeah, because I can't keep up the chat fast enough. So yeah, just in the future, if anybody is playing an event and you want to be cast, private message me. Don't put it in the It's Gosu chat because I can't read it that fast.
Right, exactly. So now, if it's honest confusion, no problem. At first, I thought you were telling me they're just like, oh yeah, we just wanted to wait for the cast, so we just didn't play. And it's just like, yeah, don't do that. That's a good way to piss AC off.
That's right.
But anyway. IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. Again, I'm AC, a very smiling AC now that I know it's just genuine confusion. And Red Mage JR. Going to be moving into our second semifinal match, Spec 8 taking on Strostocles. Wow, we got an all-Protoss semifinals, PvP, VP, VP. All right, moving in the GSL Tal'Darim.
Sorry, man. I'm trying to deal with stuff in the background. Sorry, I'm trying to.
No, you're good, brother. Yeah, I understand. I can remember one night you had something going on. Like you had I won't call it a personal issue. You just had an obligation. I had to do everything alone too. I had to run the stream, and I had to do everything else at the same time. Run the stream, set up the games, and all that. And I was a freaking hot mess all night. So I understand entirely. We're going to have some pastels, some girly colors, so to speak. This brushed red, as you put it, or as most of us call it, pink. Strostocles spawning down that 7 o'clock position. And we're going to have Spec 8 at the top left, spawning as our purple Protoss hero. And, going to be a little PvP action. Probably going to see some more 4 gates. But, hey, 4 gates fun to watch, if nothing else.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right about that, AC. With everything we got going on, all this PvP action. It's weird because even though that they've kind of changed the way that 4-gate works, we're still seeing it as both an offensive and defensive tool. And it's a lot of people were concerned that the 4-gate's just going to go away. No, it's just changed. It's just the order of things have changed. The way that it's used has changed, and they've made it a little bit more viable, in my opinion. Because before in a PvP, if you didn't do a 4-gate, you were dead.
Right.
But nowadays you're able to change it. Go for a 2-gate robo.
I don't really agree with that, Red Mage. I've said that forever. I don't think 4-gate was as overpowered as everyone thought it was. I really don't. And we saw that in GSL even before the patch, though. I mean, 4-gate was strong. It was strong, but it kind of got figured out. I mean, you could defend it. going up to a robo pretty quickly. You could do a defensive 4-gate, which was not nearly as all-in. It relied on 2 gas and pulling a handful of probes if needs be. I just think 4-gate, when it started, it took a little while for people to get their heads around it, but that's been the case since Brood War with strong builds. Is something seems unbeatable, like the Flash build, the Jadong build, etc. All that. Even now in Brood War Modern, you see that. It's like these builds come out, everyone copies them and says, oh, it's unbeatable. Then 2 months later, someone's got it figured out. It is just figured out. And again, not to say that happened with 4-gate. 4-gate's not something where you just go, oh, I knew the hard counter to 4-gate, herp-a-derp, and you win. It doesn't work that way. Herp-a-derp. But 4-gate it's a very strong build, but it is not impenetrable. You do, especially after the patch, you're right in that. It's changed even more so to this direction. But even before the patch, 4-gate was not nearly as broken as people made it out to be.
Right, and right there with you. See, we just see that the second gate's going down right now. Strostocles is moving in now with that probe, seeing everything that's going on. It's kind of seeing a little bit of not really confusion in the line, but yeah, right there you see Strostocles taking that second gas now. So he's either going to do that lumbered 4-gate that we saw previously, or he's going to try to go up some sort of robo faction. Just like I said, we're getting the warp gates in right now, and we'll see. The last times that we've seen Strostocles, he's been able to put on that early pressure and really throw his opponent off just enough to get him in expansion, and then to get him up the tech tree just a little bit faster than his opponent.
Right. So yeah, we're going to see the 3 gateways now out of Strostocles. He's not going to be doing a 4-gate, at least not to the eye at the moment. And Spec 8, yeah, he's going to go. And see, this is one of those builds that, if executed correctly, 2-gate Robo could really, especially on maps with a ramp, it's a little bit more difficult on an open map like Tal'Darim. Tal'Darim, I would say, in PvPs, a lot of times you kind of had to 4-gate just because of all the space you had to control. But on any map with a ramp, just going with sentries and zealots and a handful of stalkers with a robotics facility after 2 gateways, you could really hold off a 4-gate pretty, not easily, but pretty effectively, especially if you were active White Raw style. And White Raw was not the only or the first even player to do it. But he was the one who I think really brought it into the mainstream metagame of getting 1 or 2 stalkers out early and relying on your 4-gate defense being that you're going to target down any probe you see planting the proxy pylon.
Right.
So
good commentary. The
Immortal.
You're absolutely right, AC.
The Immortal on the way now out of Spec 8, so he's going to be in good shape to deal with any sort of stalker pressure. But again, neither player 4-gating at this point. Going to be playing much more solid. And looks like just trying to get up an expansion, just trying to enjoy the room to breathe that's granted by a map like Tal'Darim Altar.
Yeah, that is kind of nice, that they do have that kind of space. They can take a little bit more, I wouldn't say liberty, but a little bit more leisurely approach to the build order there. Not thinking, and of course Spec 8 has control of that Western Zilnaga tower there, so he's going to be able to see whatever's going to be happening with his opponent there coming up to see, and it gives him not really a lot of time to make a defensive maneuver, but giving him enough notice to try to lay down a defensive maneuver.
Yeah,
maneuver.
But
a maneuver.
Very passive play right now to both players. We see Spec 8 getting that pylon out, going to be able to warp down to the low ground if he so desires. No expansion out of either player yet. That's a little bit surprising. Seeing Spec 8 actually go ahead and go straight up to a forge and the +1 on 1 base as well. So he doesn't look to have any intentions of trying to. Actually, I'm sorry, that was Spec 8's pylon there that he brought in near that natural. I actually thought that was Strostocles. Kind of got confused on the colors. It's just looking at the units. That brushed red, as you call it, the pink and the purple look kind of similar on the probes.
Oh yeah, with those probes are darn deceivious devils there. Only really when you start looking at the stalkers can you really start seeing a difference in a lot of the units. Because looking at like zealots and immortals, to me it doesn't come out too well. But we do see that third warp gate is opening up right now for Spec 8. He's chrono boosting out that research, so he may be doing setting up for a timing push here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wanting to think that these players are arcing towards the timing, but it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, Spec's got a lot going on off of 1 base. Holy crap. He's just going to keep building gateways. So yeah, he's going up to 5 gateways now on 1 base, and this is going to be an all-in style push. I mean, it's going to pretty much have to be getting up on that much tech plus a forge. This is a timing push of a sword. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, no, he's just going to get the Nexus. All right. I'm just, this is what you get sometimes in our beta divisional. Sometimes players do things, and they do it just kind of not because they want to. Well, partially because they want to, but largely just because it feels right. And there's really no rational reason for this to be happening the way it is. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, this is just one of those things. Okay, there you go. Takes the expansion, I guess. That was his plan, is that he wants to put all the unit-producing structures down first, then he's going to go for the money.
Right. Well, it's just at that point you're kind of wasting money. I mean, you're not going to be able to support those for a long, long time. Even if we go to the Harvester count, we can see, Spec 8's a little higher than his opponent, but he's not super high enough to support 5 gates, a Forge, a Robo, and whatever else the robotics pay now. So he's not going to be able to support all that for at least a few minutes, and I really could have been using that money a little bit more wisely, I think. But either way, Strostakli's looking very, very safe. He's got a high sentry count now, up to 8 of them. All of them, the majority of them at full energy or near full energy, only a couple down near that 50-60 mark. So he's going to have infinity force fields should he need them to hold the ramp. But all this is going to be seen by the observer of Spec 8, so nothing going to be surprising our purple Protoss hero.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. That observer just kind of dangling itself there, and Strostakli is doing a kind of a weird Sim City there. It looks like he's making like an arrow, like everybody go this way out the door, with the way he set up those buildings. They just kind of seem to arc into there's a right turn mark going out there, so it's a right turn, Clyde.
Right.
And we see Strostakli's observer finally reaching the base of Spec 8. It's going to see this I wouldn't say sizable force, but decently
Well, they're about the same size, really, for both.
Yeah,
players.
I was going to say I was trying to think diverse.
Yeah,
an equally diverse army as his own. With all those immortal stalkers, sentries, zealots, there's not a whole lot there's not much of an oddity. Of course that Colossus is about halfway done right now, about a quarter of the way done, I should say, for Spec 8. So he'll have that little advantage coming out at the same time as that extended thermal lance. So.
And what really is going to matter there is the zealot count for Strostakli's. Strostakli's not very zealot heavy, actually, so. Colossus are a good unit. They're going to be good against everything, but, they're not going to turn the tide the way they would if Strostaklis was favoring a high Zealot count. Instead, he's going with a high Immortal count. That's actually really just kind of violently damages a Colossus build.
Oh, yeah, and especially if he starts to target fire it down, he can easily drop pretty quickly. But when you see that Twilight counts are going in as well, so we could see either Blink Stalkers or Zealot charge. Because like we've said, like you've told me several times, is that by now if he was going to go for DTs, he would have had that out already. But
right.
Knowing that both sides probably have the observers, it wouldn't even matter if you had the DTs. And there's the Twilight Council right now for Strostakli's going down. So yep, there you go. There's the Zealot Link charge. So
yeah, Zealot Leg Charge is going to be able to do good damage to Stalkers and, of course, to Immortals. Decently high Immortal count here, 5 out of Strostaklis. He's going to have to control them just right and really use those sentries effectively. Otherwise, this is going to be quite a ball-busting push by Spec 8. Spec's well ahead right now in terms of army. We see he's actually even a little bit higher in minerals. That's low, or owed to his Harvester advantage. Only 8, but really in a mirror matchup like this, that can make the difference, especially when both players basically went with a similar build. Now we're going to see Strostaklis move out as well, so wow, I'm going to guess that was an accident.
That was a misclick right there. Either that or he was really worried that those trees were going to fall on him.
Exactly.
And do some serious damage.
Oh, so he's going to push up. He's going to see the Colossus. He's going to choose to engage right here, and actually just going to walk right into it, taking a lot more damage than he should have. Trying to get the good surround. The Immortals trying to target fire down the Colossus. The Colossus falls. We see Spec 8 sending a ton of probes. I don't know why. Doesn't matter, though. We're going to see. I guess he just really wants to make sure he can get a proxy pylon up. That's the only thing I can think. Or is he suiciding them? What the hell just happened?
Yeah, it looks like he's just suiciding them in there. That is, odd. It's not like he needs to make. I mean, I could see if he needed to make room if he was at 200, but he's nowhere close.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, Spec 8 double the supply of his opponent right now. No sentries down at the moment for Strostacles. He's only going to get Zealots. This is going to be our GG, my friend.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to push in here and really make just a total mess of the situation here for Strostacles.
Oh, yeah, the Zealot leg charge is going to let them close the distance very fast. Zealot's going to be there to tank a lot of the damage and just going to absolutely rape all those Immortals. There's the GG, so Spec 8 jumping out to a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series here in our semifinals of our IG Beta Divisional number 7, brought to you by Gosu.com.
Absolutely right about that, AC. Go to Gosu.com to see all the upcoming events that Red made you try to screw something up in.
You didn't screw it up, man. We're fine. We're solid. Just more StarCraft. That's not a screw up. That's a screw down. That's a screw down.
Right. And that's exactly right. We're just going to get we're going to go to some Mega Caverns. But yeah, check out it's Gosu.com. We're going to start having a lot more events, not just for StarCraft 2, but also for make sure I invite the right people this time. Also for League of Legends, Heroes of Newerth, Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat, and many, many more to come as the year progresses, especially after we see all the great stuff that's going to be lined up out of E3 next week. We'll hopefully get some more info from a lot of our companies that we've been talking to see if we can get some sort of support for them. And a lot of those games are going to be announced at E3 with a lot of the playable demos and things like that coming out shortly afterwards. So be sure to tune in either to our Twitter or our Facebook or, of course, the It's Gosu's site. We'll be updating as all the information that we can from E3.
Looks like our players are good to go. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, got that going right there. So just make sure to tune in for all the E3 action next week. As we try to get as much coverage as we can. I know you can watch on a ton of other networks and things like that, but we're going to try to get a lot more of the behind-the-scenes stuff because they're going to cover a lot of the big stuff. But we're going to cover a lot of the stuff that deals specifically with esports,
right?
And not just like with the next Call of Duty game that's coming out or the next Elder Scrolls game or all those other the other big titles, the other big AAA titles. But we're going to be trying to do what we can to get all the information about the esports games that you know and love or don't know about and should love as soon as we can.
Oh, yeah. So moving into Xel'Naga Caverns for Game 2 here between Spec 8 and Strostacles. Spec 8 leading the series 1-0, spawning down in the bottom left. And Strostacles, our pink Protoss challenger, down 0-1. Going to try to steal a game away here and tie this series up 1-1 and see if he can extend his chances to advance to the finals. Going to be spawning here in the top right. So on a map like Xel'Naga Caverns, this is a map, we had that little conversation last game about the power of 4-gate, how efficient it is, its strengths, its weaknesses, whatever. On Xel'Naga Caverns, I would 4-gate every time. It's such a small map. It's largely open in a lot of ways. You do wind up with some of those crazy base trade situations just because of the dynamics of how the proxy pylon placement can create, just these run-by opportunities for armies where they literally pass in the middle of the map and just run in unopposed to the opponent's base. But just on a map this size, a map this familiar to everyone, this is a map where I would 4-gate, especially just because of the ramp. The way the ramps are positioned makes it extremely easy to plant a pylon right at the bottom and warp up right on your opponent's high ground.
Oh yeah, and with Xel'Naga Caverns being such a linear style map, because there's really just one way to go from your opponent to that one. I mean, there's a couple. Yeah, there's all the up and downs, and then there's the common knowledge hallways. But there's really just one path to your opponent, and that's what a lot of people use. Is they'll just use that for their immediate army, traffic, and that's where all the major engagements take place. So they'll take place in the middle, just below in the ramp, or in the main. That's literally where everything happens on this map. There's
right.
very little spread anywhere else unless it gets to the very, very late game, and that's the only time you ever see this map really expand that far. Usually right now, if you look at the mini map, that's about as much of the mini map that really gets used throughout the entire match for the most part.
Oh yeah,
and you have to really know this, and that's exactly why this map is such bread and butter, is because you really don't have to worry about all the rest of the map. You just have to worry about that one corridor, and that's it.
Right. And that's actually some really good insight. You're exactly right. The fact that the majority of the action on this map, no matter the matchup, is largely going to be in this, what we see as the revealed fog of war here. I mean, yeah, you'll see if somebody takes a third, you'll see that open up a little bit, but largely these 4th and 5th bases, they get taken in late games, but there's not always a lot of action going on there. You tend to see a lot of games resolved off of 1 or 2 bases plus a gold. So anyway, Spec 8 looks like he's going to be just going for the 3 gate. No, he's going to tag. He looked like he wanted to tack on a 4th. Yes, he is going to tack it on, just going to position it a bit differently. So not going to be trying to hide it out of Strostacles, though. Now throwing down 2 more gates. That's going to take his count to 3. Is he going to have enough? Is he going to go for the 4th as soon as he has the money? 1, 2, 3. He's got enough. No, it looks like he's going to want to get a robo. But the thing is, that second gas is insanely late. He needs to get another gateway down or take that gas real soon.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, AC. You know, if he's planning to do something cute or constructive, now is the time to make that switch.
Well, he took his 4th gate. Took his 4th gate. So
he did take his 4th. Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Because I was going to say, yeah, if you're gonna change it up, now is about the time that you want to decide it. Because if you try to change out of your strategy too early, because then without seeing what your opponent has, you could really be thrown out of the game pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, we see Spec 8 getting froggy with his probe, going to move it up into the back hallway here, probably going to plant his pylon there. I'm not the biggest fan of doing that, to be honest, just because if you're in a PvP, you got to check down this hall before you move out. I mean, you just kind of have to. But yeah, it looks like Strostacles is going to do the exact same thing, so I got a feeling we may see our armies run by and pass in the night yet again.
Yeah, I mean, with them both taking over the common knowledge hallways here, there's very little